Call the October 7th, 2013 Personnel Finance Committee to order. Meeting to order, please. I need approval of the agenda if there's no changes. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Passes unanimously. Move up to public comment. Any public comment out there? This is for the first 5-minute session. Anybody wish to speak? Thank you. No public comment today. Move on to committee items. Review the minutes from the September 9th meeting. Any changes, corrections? If not, we need approval. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Passes unanimously. Next up, we have the finance report. Mr. Latham, this will be for August.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Committee members, for the 8 months ended August 31st, our benchmark is 66.7%. Our actual expenditures are at 67.5%. However, there are some broad issues that explain that we're a little bit over the benchmark, and that is in August we record the third quarterly transfers, which is a full quarter that's reflected in August. And also the month of August had 3 payrolls, so if we were to show that as a percent, that would be 69.2%, and we've had 18 out of 26 payrolls for the period. The additional comments I have to make, if we move ahead, the general fund charts are showing that we're pretty much on track in terms of the history on the expenditure side. On the revenue side, we're a little bit ahead of the pace on average. The revenue chart also is reflecting the fact that we are starting to collect the annual annual property taxes for the year. And so we'll have from now until the end of the year, that's when we really collect the revenue in the general fund for the general property tax levy. The other fund comments, I have some comments to make with respect to the fair fund. Fair fund is both over
Vista Grant from later increasing output to that drain. Does that matter, or is that relevant? Number one.
Most of the space behind it is built out, but I believe there's capacity to handle more. The pipes coming out of there, there's some of them are roof drains, but there's 2 main water flows that are coming from the retention pond, and that's the only water that it handles, the retention pond and the drains on the back 3 buildings.
But Adam, my concern would be if, I don't know how many of the buildings are connected to that. Are all of them connected to it now then?
They're all tied into that retention pond.
Okay. Yeah. My only concern would be if they somehow increase the flow and it creates an issue where we have to do something again with the drain, but if I guess you're confident that that's not a concern, because as I recall there were supposed to be 2 outlets and there ended up being 6 in the end, I think, or 8, right?
Yeah.
So that was one part of it. I was wondering if the agreement should address any future expansion, if there should be any from them. But and the second part was if, and I could be wrong on my memory, but it seems that when they began looking at the plans that actually changed that, the drains were not put in accordance with the as-built plans.
That's
Is that
correct.
accurate?
Yes.
And so therefore we're using taxpayer dollars, at least half of it, to correct a problem that is best pointed back at who the builder probably. And is there...
That's correct.
Getting to my question finally, is there any chance on going back on that builder to recoup this money?
I believe, I want to say they've tried, but I can't guarantee you that that's true.
I would think that they would have. Are they out of business now or not? But I would think that they would have bonded
that's what's
at
in my
the
mind,
time.
but I hate to say that for sure.
Well, I support correcting the problem. I'm glad to see Vista Grant step up to pay for half of it, if that's what it is. But I don't necessarily know that we should totally let the builder off. If we could maybe research that and see if there's something we can recoup, I think it would be the thing to do, at least look at it. So, and that's it for me. Thank you.
Other questions or comments? as far as your comment on recouping from the builder, is there anything we need to do here, in your opinion, to stop the process, or?
No, I don't, they've answered my main question, which was just a concern about the future, and I think we can ask the administrator's office to look in the possibility of going after the builder for taxpayer dollars where correct what should have been their problem, but I don't think it needs to be a part of this necessarily. I'll move the request in the agreement.
Okay, motion and support. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? And none, passes unanimously. Another administrator controller office item would be an intergovernmental agreement between the city and the county for HR services. Any comment, concern, discussion? Okay, need a motion and support. Do we have that, I believe? Okay, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? None, passes unanimously. Next up, we have the claims. Need the claims paid.
Move the claim.
Motion and support. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Thank you. Next up is reading enjoyment. Any questions on the other minutes of the other committees? Not, we'll move on to November reporting schedule. Sir, for your viewing pleasure, return to public comment. Any public comment? There's to be none. Committee comment. Any committee comment? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.